Hello and welcome to today's lesson where we're looking at locus of control. We'll define what locus of control is and we'll show you how to go about developing the right sort of locus of control for yourself. Now, locus of control relates to how much a person believes they have control over events in their life. A person with an internal locus of control believes they can influence events in their life, whereas a person with an external locus of control believes their life is controlled by external factors that they're not able to influence. Now, those with an internal locus of control believe events in their life are the result of the actions that they take, whereas those with an external locus of control blame external factors for events that happen to them in their lives. Now, as an example, consider students who fail an exam. Now, a student with an internal locus of control might conclude that they didn't work hard enough, whereas a student with an external locus of control might conclude that their teacher had let them down in some way. They're essentially placing the blame on the teacher. Now, Julian Rotter developed the locus of control model in 1966. Rotter was an American psychologist. He developed the model while working at the University of Wisconsin. Now, it surprised Rotter how much attention the model received. He claimed that it was like lighting a cigarette and starting a forest fire. Now, in a general sense, it's considered healthier to have an internal locus of control. However, there are advantages and disadvantages to each type of locus of control. Now, if we look at the internal locus advantages, these people tend to be more successful in the workplace, and they tend to take responsibility for events that happen to them, both good and bad. They work hard to get what they want. They tend to be less influenced by the opinions of others. They take action to improve their situation. They learn from the mistakes, and all in all, they tend to be more successful. Now, there are also a few drawbacks associated with having an internal locus of control, and these people have a tendency to be direct and to the point, and this can leave some people feeling trampled, and they can find it difficult to delegate because they want to control everything all of the time. Now, turning to the advantages of an external locus of control, there aren't actually that many advantages to having an external locus of control, but those that are include these people tend to be a good team player, and they can be very good at letting go of stressful situations and can thus overall be happier people. So let's look at an example from the workplace. Suppose you gave a presentation at work and afterwards your boss tells you it was a poor presentation, lacking in any real clarity. Now, if you have an external locus of control, you might blame the fact your brief wasn't clear. You might blame the fact that others weren't forthcoming with the information you needed, and you might hope not to have the same problem again, provided those external factors that you're not responsible for don't reoccur. Now, if you have an internal locus of control, you take a different approach. You take responsibility for your poor performance. Yes, your brief was poor, that's true. And yes, you didn't get all the information that you needed, that's also true. But you take responsibility for this and you resolve to do better next time, to not let it happen again. Now, you might do this by clarifying your brief up front next time, or by chasing the people who need to give you information earlier next time. So how do you go about developing an internal locus of control? Now, people with an internal locus of control believe they are in control of their destiny. Because of this, they set goals and they work hard to achieve those goals. They get creative or work harder when obstacles arise. And because of that, is it any wonder that they're more successful in the workplace? Now, conversely, people with an external locus of control believe events happen to them. They don't set goals because they believe what will be will be. This is also the reason they give up when challenges arise. Now, if there is a key to developing an internal locus of control, it's this. You've got to understand that both types are self-fulfilling. Now, if you think your fate is in the hands of others, you're going to act in such a way to confirm that belief. If you think that your fate is under your control completely, then you're going to act in a way to confirm that belief also. So because of this, each of the tips below has a point, namely to get you to begin the slow process of realizing that you do have some control over your fate. Now, the good news is that even small progress can have a big benefit once the self-fulfilling aspects start to kick in. So the tips to develop an internal locus of control are, firstly, set goals. So learn how to set goals for yourself. You can start small. You can identify one or two things you can achieve in the next few weeks and start from there and expand. Secondly, you can develop your problem-solving skills, and by developing these skills, you'll become more confident. Instead of saying, "Why me?" when problems arise, you'll be able to coolly analyze the alternatives and select the right option for you. And the final tip is to watch out for self-talk. Now, this means watch out for when you hear yourself saying things like, "I can't do it," or "there's no point." If you don't catch these thoughts, then very soon you'll start to believe what you're saying to yourself inside your head. So it's important to take a step back and remind yourself that you do have some choice and that you can make a difference. Now, one way to think about this is there's a great quote by Henry Ford where he says, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." So in summary, locus of control refers to the extent to which someone believes their fate is the result of their actions. Someone with an internal locus of control believes their fate is the result of their actions, whereas someone with an external locus of control believes external events determine their fate and they have no control over their fate. So that's it from me for this lesson. Really hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.